second to last segment can kind of quickly touch on this, but they finalized 11 of the 12 roster spots for Team USA. I think we were pretty close.
Wait,
Pretty close. I'm not gonna lie.
was there a name missing? Didn't he say he was committing?
What are you talking about?
Embiid?
Yeah.
Say he
No,
was
Joel is on the list. He's on the
He
He
is?
is
list.
on the
Okay,
list.
okay.
Yeah, he's on there.
So we have if the
Hey, Disney.
Drew Holiday.
Hey, he was crucial. We forget. He was
he was
crucial.
crucial. So we have Anthony Davis, Devin Booker, Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum, Drew Holiday, Bam Adebayo, Tyrese Halliburton, along with Bron, Steph, KD, and Embiid.
Jesus Christ.
I'd have to look at our list, but I want to say we were pretty. I feel like we were pretty spot on.
I think we had a Jimmy in there, maybe.
Well, that 12th roster spot is open.
Yeah.
So I don't know who they might be looking at, but
I think Drew is the only person left off.
no, Drew's on.
No, for us.
No, as far as us, I would have never said Drew Holiday.
Oh yeah, no.
And if I did back then, shout out to me. I was 10 steps ahead, I guess.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
no.
Drew makes sense though. I mean, he's literally a Swiss Army knife.
Yep, defense.
I guess.
Yeah, he was the second best player. He was the second best player in last Olympics.
Wait, so who would you replace him with, Ashley?
Dame.
Dame actually was probably the second or maybe worst player for us last Olympics.
Oh.
No, I remember watching. It was very hard for him to get a shot. The fouls that we would get in the NBA weren't being called, and Drew was honestly next to KD, the most important player on that team.
So I would say, given the way the roster's constructed, I think Drew makes a lot of sense.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I will have to see this.
Yeah, I believe it. So much for the Drew Redemption Tour. Look at that. But yeah, no, everybody else. I'm a little bit surprised by Halliburton, only because of the way that he fell off. I use that loosely, but only because of the way that he fell off since the last time we were having this conversation. But I wouldn't say that he hasn't earned that spot. We all said Ant would probably be the one young guy to make the cut, and he did.
25.98 a game.
All right.
Tatum, Booker, AD as the backup big makes a lot of sense. So, it's that's a scary team. They taking
a really good team.
That's a really good team. Yeah. I mean, we should bring home the gold, right?
If we don't.
I mean,
we need another.
Canada's going to be decent. I mean, there's a lot of different countries now that have.
Who's going to be decent?
Canada.
Yeah.
It's going to be really decent. I mean, Greece,
France.
Who is the last player that you think that you would add to this team? Is it big? Is it a guard? Personally, I'm throwing Josh Hart in this team. I'm finding a way to get Josh Hart part in this team. Either him or another knockdown shooter. I'm just thinking.
You just call Josh Hart a knockdown shooter?
I said either him or a knockdown shooter. Because he would just be a great go out there and just raise hell defensively. Just grab a board, get a dime. He's Swiss Army knife. And I think he can cover just as much defensively as Drew. And you have two guys like that. We could just put him in and out.
Donovan?
Well, that's the thing. The way the roster is constructed, do you really need another ball handler or somebody who needs the ball? Probably not. But also, I'm thinking whoever this 12th man is probably ain't gonna play that much, to be completely honest. I mean, it's already people that's not gonna see a lot of minutes, and all these players are starters. So I mean, I don't know. I get having another Swiss Army knife though, but who's to say? Who knows? But I mean, I definitely think we're sending our best team to Paris. So
They're waiting to see how Jaylen Brown plays in the playoffs.
Not Jalen Brunson?
No, Brown. I'm just kidding.
If Brunson was 6'4", he'd be that 12th. He'd be that 12th man.
100%.
Because Brunson gonna play behind Steph and Halliburton anyway, if we being honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what's the point of being a third string point guard on a 12-man roster?
True.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
But I will say Brunson has a very strong argument for first team All NBA.
You don't hear any arguments. You're good.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just saying.
Whose spot does he take?
You held your breath.
I know I was. So they're not doing positions anymore this year, though, right?
Not that I know of, because that was why I was confused. Where they're like, "Yeah, I think he's going to take Giannis's spot," and I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
it's not a position thing." Okay.
That him and Giannis conversation is tough.
Yeah,
but
no, like let's give it to me because they got a better
Shea, Luka, probably Tatum.
Yep.
I mean, if you went Giannis Brunson, I wouldn't be mad based off numbers and based off who's eligible. I wouldn't be upset.
Jokic
probably be second. Just because the numbers are a little lower. I mean, he already is MVP consideration. But if Jokic does take a first team spot, it's probably Giannis's or it's Brunson's.
JT.
I think JT might be solidified on first team.
I agree.
I mean, deservedly so, but
yeah,
I think he'd be solidified. I think you're not moving him. You're not moving Luka. I don't feel like you moving Giannis just because you can't ignore statistically what he did this season. Yeah, I mean, you can't really argue Shea either. I wouldn't. So it comes down to whether you want to pick Jokic because of where he's falling MVP race, or do you go Brunson because of his end of the year push. But I think he could. I think he very well could get it. I think second team will get really interesting, especially with the people who missed all the games. So it'll be interesting to see how second team ends up filling out for sure, and third for that matter. But
yeah,